All right, everyone, I'm back. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. Welcome once more to Alexandra Mayers Live. And I'm just going to take you all for a sunset walk here in St. Louis, Missouri at Forest Park. Right now, I'm at something called the Government Hill and World's Fair Pavilion. A landscape and a heritage restored. I'll just read a little bit of this to you. The World's Fair Pavilion was built in 1909 with proceeds from the 1904 World's Fair held here in Forest Park. Government Hill's colorfully lit fountain and reflecting pool were added in 1930. And you guys can read the rest of this for yourself if you screenshot this. But yeah. So we're just gonna take a little sunset walk. The moon's already out. Oh, let's see if you guys can see the moon. Let's see, it's this way. Might not be able to pick it up on the camera, but the sun is setting behind me. And we're just gonna take a walk. Let you guys enjoy some of the fresh air virtually with me. And today was a good day. I actually had a really nice visit here. It was a nice visit. It was good to get out of Houston for a little bit. It was so hot and muggy there. Here it is crisp. It is cool out. Later it's probably gonna get cold pretty quick. I have my gloves. I did get a pair of gloves. Little pair of $3 gloves from Target earlier. But it was a nice trip. It was nice. For those of you who haven't checked out my latest videos on my YouTube channel, it snowed here yesterday. And that was a treat. That was definitely a treat. So Missouri's nice. This is definitely the kind of state that you live in if you're raising kids. If you're single and you want to save money, definitely you could live here. If you like early American history, this is a nice place. Let's see what you guys are saying. It is relaxing here. It's very quiet. People here are quite quiet. I asked kindly on my last stream not to mention things having to do with legalities that I'm going to have to contend with when it comes to death threats. It's a shame that some of you are not respecting that. I also want to make it clear that many have made it clear to me that I am not a part of something called the IP2 community, a community drenched rather, with white supremacists. So being that that's the case, you don't really need to be on my stream. I'm not a part of your network. So try to have a little bit of respect. If you can't, then, well, maybe you need to face some legal consequences too. I hope I made myself clear. So anyway, I hate having to interrupt my travel stream, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. So this is a nice view behind me. And I'll let you all see the sunset through these trees. There you go. There. So we're gonna walk up to the pavilion. I'm so glad I bought this jacket. This was the perfect jacket for this trip. And I think that this jacket will end up being pretty good for when I decide to go out to the Arizona area. Probably in February or March. There you go. You can hear the ducks. It's so funny. I met with a friend a little bit earlier today who lives in this area, who I haven't seen in about 8 years. And he came out here specifically because he got married, he has about 3 kids, and I had lunch with their family earlier today. And I was telling him about someone who initially I booked this trip with the intention of hanging out with this person, but then they backed out at the last minute. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna lose my deposits or anything on my accommodations. I'm just gonna take the damn trip. But I was telling my friend who I met with today about how this other person who I was going to meet was like trying to scare me to death about this city and be like, oh, St. Louis is so horrible and all this kind of stuff. But since I've been here, I've had really nothing but good experiences. People here are very nice. It's a very diverse city. You have a really good mixture of people. This is actually probably one of the most truly diverse cities within the United States that I've visited so far. I'd say when it comes to the distribution or the mixture of different ethnicities here, it's pretty equally or evenly portioned out. As I was saying in the previous stream, this is not an overcrowded city at all. Oh, I gotta show you guys this view. We're coming up the steps. Isn't that pretty? It's almost like a postcard. Wow, let's go this way. I knew coming here at sunset would be a good idea. Lots of classic architecture. Even though the trees are bare, the landscaping looks pretty. Cute little dog over here. There we go, that's better. There, now you guys can get a nice panoramic view. There we go. So this is great. This is a really pretty, it's a pretty place. All Alright, we're gonna go up to the pavilion now and check it out. You know what? My hands are starting to get cold. So it's time for the gloves. This is what stopped me at the arch yesterday. I didn't have gloves. I am very sensitive to my environment. I didn't even realize how much so until I started traveling. You know that? More sensitive than I thought. Oops. Here, let's get the other one on. Okay. There we go. Huh. So it's just like a giant pavilion. Let's see here. Uh-oh. There we go. It was built for the World's Fair, as the plaque said, in the early 1900s. Walking through here, you can actually feel a certain kind of vibe. It's interesting. There we go. So that's about it. That's about it. We're heading back down now. But this was a nice visit to this city. It was really nice. Really nice. Definitely worth the trip just to be in some fresh falling snow yesterday. Seeing the Gateway Arch, that was nice. I actually rewatched that video. I was thinking, oh, I bet it turned out so horrible. And it didn't turn out bad. It's actually kind of funny. Because when I get frustrated and when I'm out of my element, I can be rather comical to observe. So, yeah. The Gateway Arch was a lesson in streaming for me when it comes to cold weather. Gotta have gloves. Gotta have gloves. That's imperative. So yeah. As I was saying, the person that I was initially going to hang out with here, who also, I won't say he was really a streamer, just maybe more so of a fan of streamers and a Discord junkie. He was trying to terrorize me about this city, acting like it was oh so bad and dangerous. You see any danger here? I don't. Unfortunately, we are living in an age to where white supremacy is on the rise. You have a lot of people who have been separatists, who are white supremacists within the United States of America for a long time, who unfortunately have raised their children to believe that when you see somebody with my complexion, by default, there's a danger or there's crime. Nothing could be further from the case, especially as we move forward as a society. I do ask that if you harbor racism, bigotry, misogyny, especially towards black women, you start to rethink your mindset. Not only are you hurting others by inciting violence against individuals who happen to be my sex and who happen to have the look that I do, but you're hurting yourself. Because if you think I'm the only person tracking some of this and making lists, checking them twice, realizing who's naughty and definitely not nice, you're sadly mistaken. There's more like me than you could ever dream of. So, it's time to stop the madness. It's time to stop making death threats toward people. It's time to stop threatening their loved ones just because they might have an opinion that differs from yours. Yes, we live in America where the First Amendment exists, where freedom of speech exists, but there's also something called responsible speech. There's something called the golden rule. Treating others the way that you would want to be treated. And citizens of the United States of America, do not allow foreigners to create interference within our society that is negative. You have a lot of foreign entities that are very envious and jealous of how wonderfully the United States is progressing. And they're spreading false propaganda to our youth that America's on the decline, when in actuality, we are on the incline. America's doing great. So don't listen to people who can't make it within the United States, primarily due to being lazy and due to already feeling defeated, due to not respecting themselves or loving themselves or understanding that if you want to make it in the world, you got to work. Instead, listen to people who are going places, who are innovators, and who are doing things that are productive and positive and healthy. So take care, everyone. Thank you for coming with me on my St. Louis sunset walk. It was nice. It was really nice. And if I'm not too tired, I will do IRL Girl Talk tonight. But if I'm too tired, I won't. We'll see. In fact, you know what? Instead of doing it at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, I'll probably do it real late if I manage to do it. So make sure you follow me on Twitter or Instagram. That way you can keep abreast of what I do. So take care. Love yourself. Respect yourself. And live by the golden rule. If you do, you'll be happier in life. Bye-bye.